All right, motherfucks. The last video I made is almost like a prelude to this video. Maybe I'll bring back subscriber shoutouts, motherfucks, but that's for another time. I just thought of that randomly. This video is going to be about the direction in which AEW and NXT are going, and I don't mean the ratings, I mean the creative direction, right? The facts are what the facts are. AEW is not doing well, right? AEW has not done well for a long time. Let's be real, right? AEW has made a lot of critical errors, but because they're AEW, a smart company that caters to the smarts, they can do no wrong. And when they make mistakes, people just forgive them and forget about it, right? But guess what, motherfuckers? I don't! You understand me? I don't forget these things, right? Remember Jeff Cobb? Does anyone remember Jeff Cobb? Some 5'10", like 285-pound guy? Interesting enough, like he's a stocky, small dude, you know what I'm saying? Like a small guy who's supposed to be like a big, strong dude, right? He comes in as like a big deal, comes in, just gets jobbed out to Dean Ambrose, right? Haven't been heard from since. He's not, like, nobody even fucking heard of this guy ever again, right? And he was supposed to be this big deal, like they signed him to some sort of contract, right? Where he's like not exclusive, right? He can go wrestle in like, you know, like Gorilla Wrestling 3 or whatever the fuck he wrestles, right? And he can go do that and then come to AEW for like the big paycheck. Get the fuck out of here, you know? Their WWE champion, I mean, their AEW champion is fucking Dean Ambrose, who's like a mid-carder in WWE and a mid-carder in New Japan. In New Japan, he's the New Japan US champion. You know what I'm saying? He's not even like the New Japan world champion. And so basically what you're saying is, like, a guy who's a mid-carder in Japan is our main guy. All right, I got it, motherfucks. I got it. You're just a company of jobbers. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it, right? It's already done, in my opinion. The writing's on the wall, you know? And the reason why AEW has failed completely is this, right? Like I said in the earlier video, nepotism, that's a big one. Self-promotion of the elite, and also, like, friends of the elite. Like, Brandy Rhodes, there was no reason why she should be on TV at all. Like, the fact that this company is paying Brandy Rhodes is ridiculous. It's like Tony Khan is one of the dumbest people in this fucking world. Basically, he just gets 4 wrestlers, and he's like, let's start a wrestling company, right? And then, like, then the wrestlers are making demands. Like, all of a sudden, Kenny Omega's like, hey, can we hire every Japanese female wrestler I've ever talked to? You know what I mean? And then, like, can we hire Nakazawa, right? Can we hire fucking Brandon Cutler? Can we hire my wife? Can we hire my brother? Like, all these people that fucking serve no purpose. Like, at the very least, Goldust might serve a purpose, you know? There might be something there where Goldust can provide, you know, some sort of fucking, what's it called? Like, some contribution, right? But what contribution is provided by Brandy Rhodes? Fucking nothing, man. Nothing at all. Like, she's just getting paid to be Cody's wife. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. You know, in no other way would this work, right? You're his wife, you're getting paid because he's the boss. It is literally sleeping your way to the top. It is literally that. You know, she brings fucking nothing. I mean, she's a hot broad, but that's about it. She's not charismatic, she's not entertaining, she's not a good wrestler. The whole Nightmare Collective was fucking stupid, and it's done for, right? And it's these kind of things that drain money from a company. A company needs to fucking save every cent it can for it to move forward. You understand what I'm saying, motherfuckers? So every penny you're paying fucking, I forgot his name, Jeff Cobb, right? Cobb salad, boy. You know what I'm saying? Every cent you're paying him, or every cent you're paying Brandy Rhodes, or every cent you're paying Sonny Kiss, who hasn't been on TV in a year. You know, every cent you're paying these people, you are taking money away from the company. Money that could be used to lock down someone like Dean Ambrose into an exclusive contract, right? So the only place I could see him would be AEW. But in reality, all they've done is they've taken him out, right? And use him once in a while as their champion. He's fucking never there, probably because he's busy in Japan. He's fucking never around. Like people are talking about Brock Lesnar being a bad champion. What about Dean Ambrose? I've seen these guys that had like, he's been there for like almost an entire year basically, and he's had like 10 matches. You know what I'm saying? He's wrestling a John Cena schedule, but he's not fucking John Cena, motherfuckers. I mean like John Cena like 2 years ago, because there was a time when John Cena was wrestling every fucking week. You know? Like, this company is being held up by fucking Cody Rhodes, and that's why it's drawing 600,000, because he's not interesting, man. Like, if you removed all the wrestlers from AEW and brought in like completely new wrestlers, it would still draw 600,000. None of these guys are draws. Not one of them, motherfuckers. Not one. maybe Jericho. But honestly, that's fucking wearing off too. You know, you can only see a guy so many times until age 50. You know what I mean? It's no longer interesting. Like, he's doing dumb shit now. Oh, to me and Sammy Guevara are best friends. Not anymore, you're now, motherfucker. Sammy Guevara's out of here. Now, let's compare that to the new direction, what I believe to be the new direction of NXT, right? One thing I will say about WWE as a whole is that their handling of the women's divisions has been exemplary the last few months. I have to say, right? They are treating it the same way that UFC treats like a weight class, right? They're making interesting matchups, right? So things that normally you wouldn't see, you're seeing. Now, I understand none of these are entertaining things because fucking Bayley is just an atrocious wrestler. Sasha Banks is just a botch machine from day one. All she does is botch, right? These girls are just getting paid just because they're broads. Like, if they were dudes, they would never get a job in WWE. No way, if they suck that bad. You know what I'm saying? They're just getting paid because they're broads, and, like, it's gone to their heads. They think they're, like, great wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my friends actually said to me, like, they're thinking about doing intergender wrestling in WWE. And he actually said to me, he said, you know what would be great? Charlotte versus Roman Reigns. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And this other guy who was there was like, well, he's like, it could be believable. He's like, they used to do Rey Mysterio versus Big Show. And I'm like, yeah, and Big Show would squash Rey Mysterio. Or he would lose because, like, you know, JBL would come in and hit him with a chair on the head. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would destroy Rey Mysterio. I remember that match. It was Rey Mysterio versus Great Khali. And Rey Mysterio does like a springboard dropkick, right? And just bounces off Khali's chest. Khali no-sells it completely. Like it would be in real life. And my friend's like, oh, it would be a great match. Charlotte versus Roman Reigns. Are you fucking insane? I would beat the shit out of Charlotte. Like, I have absolutely zero doubts that I would beat the shit out of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? And like, he's like, oh, she should be able to beat Roman Reigns. Are you fucking insane? These are people that have never been in, like, combat sports. Like, I used to box in college, so I understand the strength discrepancy. Let me tell you a little story, motherfucks. One of my buddies from boxing, I won't say his name in case he hears this one day, right? But he was a really talented guy, right? He had been boxing for a few years. He was a little older than me, right? And we went to the boxing gym. And in the boxing gym, there was two pros that trained in this relatively modest boxing gym near the college that we went to, right? Big college, state college, right? So this boxing gym had attracted two world champions. It had like 3 or 4 pro fighters, I believe, but 2 world champions. And one of the pro fighters, started sparring with my friend. It was much better than me, right? And he was much bigger than my friend. He was also more talented, but it was the size because he wasn't sparring at full power, you know? Because he understood that he's a better boxer than my friend, who's a college boxer, right? My friend's holding his own. The guy connects once, boom, decks my friend, knockout, motherfucks, in sparring. Which, if you know anything about sparring, you're not supposed to knock out your partner in sparring, right? So he knocks him out. My friend's out. They take him out of the ring. He's out for like a minute. You know what I'm saying? He's out. And I'm just thinking to myself, yo, why the fuck did you put my friend, who was like 165 pounds, against this heavyweight, like fucking, this heavyweight pro? A heavyweight, man. He outweighed my friend by like 60 pounds. You know? He getting hit by him, if you're my friend, is like getting hit by a truck. And that's what happened, motherfuckers. So these fantasies of, oh, Charlotte versus Roman Reigns is retarded. Instead, I can only attribute it to Vince McMahon and maybe Bruce Pritchard. The direction has changed, right? You are seeing things like Asuka versus Sasha Banks. They're on different shows, but fuck it. Let's do it once in a while, right? Because they're the tag team champions. They're using the women's tag belts correctly, right? They're using them to suggest that, like, if you're like the women's tag champs, you're able to move between shows. Therefore, it's now appropriate for Sasha Banks to challenge the Raw Women's Champion because she'll be on Raw once in a while. You understand what I'm saying? So they're using this to their advantage. They're putting them on NXT. They had Io Shirai. It's like this big circle jerk, but it's interesting, right? It's going well, in my opinion. Better than when Becky Lynch was champion. Now, that's neither here nor there. The real direction of NXT is the way that the men's division is going, right? It seems to me that they're creating some, like, I don't want to say delineations because it's a little too early to like conclusively say that, but it seems to me like when they move the cruiserweight division to NXT, that's going to be an NXT thing, right? However, motherfucks, in order to distinguish cruiserweights from real men in this case, you know, they had to get rid of Adam Cole, the ratings killer. Adam Cole will never draw a dime. Adam Cole is literally Finn Balor. He is the guy, except less athletic by a lot, right? Adam Cole is literally the guy that will only draw smarks. That's it, motherfucks. There are people in NXT that I don't like, and I don't try to hide it, like Karrion Kross. I think he's shit. However, I can recognize that Karrion Kross might be a draw. You know, now again, when I say might be a draw, I mean in this new day and age. Is he going to be a draw like Booker T was a draw, or Eddie Guerrero was a draw, or even JBL was a draw? Fuck no. He couldn't even lace one of their boots. You know what I'm saying? He's like substantially inferior to all of them. However, is he better than Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly? Yes, he is better than Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, who are two jobbers. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the direction that NXT is taking. You know, it would appear that it's the time of Keith Lee, motherfucks. That time is coming. I don't know what's going to happen, but if the spoilers are right, looks like Keith Lee's winning. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for the spoilers, motherfucks. That's how it's going to be, right? It appears that Keith Lee is winning. Now, who the fuck knows? I don't know, maybe they taped different versions. But the facts are what they are. The direction is clearly moving towards that, right? Like they tried to tease Adam Cole versus Karrion Kross. But anyone that can look at that will see, like, this is stupid. Like, Karrion Kross beat Tommaso Ciampa. Hopefully, Keith Lee beats Adam Cole. And this means that these two small jobbers are on their way to 205 Live or some other bullshit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, the big guys need to replace the small guys. And that's what's fucking happening, motherfucks. Like, they're starting to push Damian Priest a little bit, right? Even the guys that aren't that big, like Cameron Grimes, right? He has that griminess to him. That's why he's called Cameron Grimes. He has that, like, that pugilism, if you will, right? Where he's just ready to fight. He's like a scrappy dude, you know what I mean? So, like, it's more believable for someone like Cameron Grimes to beat Damian Priest than it is for Adam Cole to beat Damian Priest. Adam Cole, who's like this pretty boy, who's like self-absorbed, right? In real life, people like Adam Cole don't beat up people like Keith Lee. People like Adam Cole don't beat up people like Damian Priest or Dominik Dijakovic. They don't, motherfucks. They don't. Like 100 times out of 100, Dominik Dijakovic beats the shit out of Adam Cole in real life. 100 times. However, with Trevor Lee, maybe 10 out of 100 times. Maybe 30 out of 100 times. Trevor Lee gets lucky and beats up like a Keith Lee. You understand? It's possible, right? It's unlikely, but it's possible because he's a scrappy dude. And those scrappy dudes are dangerous motherfuck. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? Maybe he's a better fighter than Keith Lee. It's a little bit believable. Whereas Adam Cole, this guy can't fight. He doesn't even look like he lifts. You know, this guy goes to the gym like probably once a week. He looks like shit. Like Adam Cole has the physique of Taka Michinoku. Like straight up, motherfuckers. He has the physique of Funaki. Right? And Funaki was way better as a wrestler than Adam Cole. What the fuck can Adam Cole do that Funaki can't? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It appears that the direction of NXT is moving towards big guys. And as you can see, the ratings are reflecting that. They're reflecting that people are interested in Keith Lee. They're interested in Dijakovic. They're interested in Karrion Kross. Why? Because they're not tiny motherfucks. And tiny motherfucks, vanilla midgets, can't draw. It's clear as day, motherfuckers. It's clear as day. So, what I hope happens is that you create a brand, right, NXT, where it's just these big motherfucks. You know, you got the big Indian tag team. You got these big dudes in, like, the mid-card in the main event. You know what I'm saying? You bring a few more big dudes, and then you build a brand like that, right? Where it's like big athletic guys, right? So when one of them moves to the main roster, you're inherently intrigued. You're like, this guy could be the next Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's cool. That's something that's interesting. That gets the wheels turning, motherfuckers. It creates, like, immediate interest in the product of NXT. On the other hand, if you continue to follow this Adam Cole philosophy, then you find yourself at last year's Survivor Series in the most unbelievable story arc of all time, right? Of all time. Like, NXT dominates Raw and SmackDown. Tommaso Ciampa is out there beating up The Miz, who's about a foot taller than him. Like, it's fucking insane, man. He's just whooping his ass. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Tommaso Ciampa is not good enough to be able to beat The Miz in real life or in wrestling. He's not a better wrestler. He's not better on the mic. He's not better at anything than The Miz. He's not more charismatic. He's not better looking. He's in better shape, I suppose. But Miz is bigger, you know? So it compensates for that. So why the fuck is he beating up The Miz? He can barely lift him for his finisher. It's all this kind of horse shit, you know? And then they win, like, they dominate NXT. The only person that's basically able to, like, you know, put a dent in NXT is Roman Reigns on SmackDown when he beats up the NXT roster and Keith Lee with them. And even that one was close. But at least it was Keith Lee. Imagine if it was close, but instead of Keith Lee, it was fucking like Isaiah Swerve Scott. You know what I'm saying? Or like fucking like Bobby Fish versus Roman Reigns. Like, it would make no sense. You know what I mean? It has to be someone strong. It has to be someone powerful. That's what sells in wrestling. And in my opinion, if NXT is built as the brand of dominance, then when it's time for Survivor Series, then they actually have an argument. Then the argument is, okay, like you guys think you're better than us because you're not NXT, you're not the D leagues, right? However, look at our roster and look at yours, right? We have Keith Lee, Dijakovic, Damian Priest, the big Indian guys. Like put some other big guy there. We have these big motherfuckers, and you think you're better than us, right? Because you have, at that point, they'll have like Adam Cole and fucking these jabrones, right? Like, how can Raw think they're better than NXT when NXT has Keith Lee and Karrion Kross and Dijakovic, right? And Damian Priest, when Raw has like Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander, Like, that's a good argument. It's like, well, wait a second, hold on a second. Like, we're NXT, but I'm fucking Keith Lee. I'm better than Buddy Murphy and Tozawa, right? I might not be better than Roman Reigns, but I'm better than them at least, right? So let's not piss on my shoe already, motherfucks. That would be the argument. That would be the subtext of the argument. But when you have Leo Rush, Leo Rush and like fucking like some unknown jabrones, there's Leo Rush and Tegan Knox are like, we're better than Raw. No, you're fucking not. You're Leo Rush. You suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not good enough, dog. So that's the problem, right? You have to be able to sell the storylines in advance. You have to plan for these things. Because the argument of like if Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa say, no, we're better than Raw. Because look at the match that me and Johnny Gargano had. Stop breaking kayfabe. What match? I thought it was like a grudge match. I thought you hated each other. You know what I'm saying? Who cares if a match is good? The point is, it takes 3 years for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano to end their rivalry. Right? That's the point. Like they're both so soft that they get injured every 3 months, and it takes 3 years to finish one relatively shitty storyline. You know what I mean? It takes 3 years. So why don't they focus on that? But we had a great match. How about the fact that the only people you guys can beat is each other? How about you've beaten no one? No one impressive, right? And then you throw in people like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate and these small dudes. And it's like, oh, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate had the best match in NXT history. That's great, motherfucks. But Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are also 5'5". Who gives a fuck if they beat each other? Who gives a shit? That's the whole entire premise of the Cruiserweight division in WCW. And why no one cared. Because you see like Juventud Guerrera, right? Versus like Psychosis. And you're like, okay, great. Juventud beat Psychosis. But who gives a fuck? Can he beat Sting? Can he beat Kevin Nash? No, he can't, motherfucks. So why the fuck should I be interested in Juventud Guerrera? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's kind of the same idea, right? If Adam Cole continues to beat midgets, no one's going to care. But if Adam Cole starts beating up people like Kane or Keith Lee, then it becomes absurd, and there's no point to even have Adam Cole. That's why the focus should be on these big dudes. And honestly, I think that's what's happening. Like, I would like to see what's his name, Lars Sullivan, go back to NXT, right? That would be nice. Him versus Keith Lee, just two big bodies, and just destroying each other. That would be sick to see, man. Like slams, suplexes, things like that. That's what wrestling is. I don't like this, like all these nerds online are like, oh, a striking finisher is more realistic than a slam finisher. I don't give a fuck if it's more realistic, motherfucker. I don't give a shit if you think a super kick is better than a rock bottom. Right? I don't watch wrestling to see like these fucking pansies kick each other. I want to see rock bottoms. Even the stunner isn't that good. I want to see pedigrees, rock bottoms, choke slams, power bombs, like these kind of things, like power moves, man, where someone grabs someone, just manhandles them and throws them. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see like, oh, this guy's quick and agile, so he'll do a spinning like the Trouble in Paradise. Like, that's not a fucking wrestling move, man. Kofi Kingston botches it like 95% of the time. It looks like shit 95% of the time. Kofi Kingston sucks, by the way. Man, he botches it completely, right? And everyone's like, oh, what an athletic move. First of all, he's not that athletic as he fucking botches everything. He's good at the little rumble recoveries, and he's athletic overall, But in terms of, like, making it look smooth, he's not. Like, he's not as smooth as, like, Ricochet or Will Ospreay or, like, Rey Mysterio, not even close, you know what I'm saying? He's like a Shelton Benjamin, Like, Shelton Benjamin, except less athletic. Like, Shelton Benjamin was athletic, but he was sloppy, right? Because he was so athletic that he's trying to do these crazy things. Kofi Kingston, on the other hand, doesn't even try to do that. He does, like, these pseudo-athletic things, right? Except for on the Rumble, which is pretty impressive, right? And then I don't even know why we're on Kofi Kingston. But the point is, strike finishers suck, motherfucks. And I want to see big dudes. Like that's why I didn't like Keith Lee versus Dijakovic. Because they're big guys, and Dijakovic is doing like a corkscrew moonsault. Why the fuck are you doing a corkscrew moonsault? You should try to grab him and chokeslam his ass. You're a big guy, he's a big guy, right? But Keith Lee's Spirit Bomb, sick move. Keith Lee has sick moves, right? And then, like, if you built a brand like that, now that you're getting rid of the small guys, you can start introducing wrestlers and signing wrestlers that at minimum are the size of Matt Riddle. That should be the minimum requirement to become a world champion in WWE, should be Matt Riddle size, right? Matt Riddle, Randy Orton-ish size. That is the bare minimum. Like Matt Riddle is like a good 6'1", right? Or at least he's built as a 6'1". He's like a relatively tall guy. He's jacked. He's muscular. He's strong. He's athletic. And his look is the bare minimum. That's where it should start. There is no way. People like, I mean, there should be maybe exceptions. Like there should be an exception here and there. Like for example, like, you know, if we apply the Matt Riddle rule, then people like Rey Mysterio would never have been champion, or people like Shawn Michaels would have never been champion, you know. But there are exceptions, right? Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Rey Mysterio, these are deserving small guy champions. Daniel Bryan, not a deserving small guy champion. All the NXT champions, not deserving. Seth Rollins, I don't think he should be world champion. I don't give a fuck how good he is. I think Seth Rollins would be Seth Rollins is someone that could have like a 2.5-year run as Intercontinental Champion, right? And then he can challenge for the world title and lose, and that would be okay. And then one day, he could maybe become the exception to the rule, right? There needs to be a clear delineation between the mid-card title and the world title. The two champions should never be presented as equals, like they are in AEW or in some ways in NXT. And that's kind of the point, motherfuckers. The direction of NXT is at least going the right way. Going the right way. They're focusing on the right type of superstar, right? They're focusing on people like Dexter Lumis, right? Big guy, relatively speaking. Like someone like Dexter Lumis fits the bill. Like I consider him to be like quote unquote Matt Riddle size. Someone like that, right? Someone that you can look at and be like, okay, this guy is not a pussy. You know, this guy works hard. He trains. He's jacked. You know, he's probably roided up. I don't know. But the point is, he looks like a man, right? Him, fucking Jackson Riker, or Gunner as we know him from the Forgotten Sons, right? So people like that, like big, strong guys. I don't know why there's this obsession with these tiny midgets and people like Kevin Owens. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I remember when Jackson Riker put up it was a silly tweet where he put up something about like how he likes Trump or something, and Kevin Owens was like, oh, stop pushing your shitty catchphrase. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, Jackson Riker would beat the shit out of Kevin Owens if he wanted to with like one arm. He would just beat the shit out of him, like just leave him in a pool of his blood if he wanted to. And Sami Zayn at the same time. Like Kevin Owens is a fat fuck. This guy like fight Owens fight. I would go as far as saying that like aside from like the cruiserweights, like aside from like Lindsay Dorado and people like that, I would go to and like Humberto Garza, whatever the fuck those guys are now, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Aside from that crop and like the Cedric Alexanders and Isaiah Swerve Scotts, like Leo Rushes, like the cruiserweights that Kevin Owens might be able to beat up. No one else in WWE can he beat up. No one else, motherfucker. Maybe like Nakamura, who's like a sloppy dude. But that's about it. There's no way that like he could beat up like Cesaro or Sheamus would beat the shit out of him in like 10 seconds. Like even retired wrestlers like Mark Henry would just beat the shit out of Kevin Owens. No problem. You know what I'm saying? And he's out there fighting Owens fight. Like people are supposed to be scared of this guy. You know what I mean? Why the fuck would Randy Orton ever be scared of Kevin Owens? You know what I'm saying? Like just look at Randy Orton and look at Kevin Owens. Like Randy Orton could beat him in 10 seconds. You know, but Kevin Owens he's a prize fighter. Oh, the hater, you don't understand. Kevin Owens is a prize fighter. Like he trained jujitsu for 2 weeks and got a free T-shirt. Oh, Kevin Owens, shut the fuck up. That bullshit, man. That horse shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like Matt Riddle said to like Jericho. He's like, Jericho, he's like, I would beat the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that, motherfucker. He's like, you're a fucking pansy. You're a pussy, dude. Look at you. Yeah, I would beat the shit out of you. Enough. You know, enough of this talking shit. Like I would beat the shit out of you now. I'd beat the shit out of you in your prime. You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like there has to be some sort of believability. That's why WWE now is starting to recruit heavily people like Cain Velasquez, right? It's to compensate the fact that their inferior wrestlers like Kevin Owens really lower the standard, right? So you're like, okay, no one seems legit. How do I make my wrestlers seem legit? I know, make Brock Lesnar the champion and have him feud with a UFC guy. Because having him feud with Kevin Owens is preposterous. It's silly. It's like if you had Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Samoa Joe against Lesnar at the same time, I think the three of them would last about 20 seconds total. Like, he would just punch Kevin Owens in the face, break his face, right? He would just grab Samoa Joe and just slam him, and Sami Zayn would be last man standing. He'd probably try to, like, punch him in the face or something. Brock Lesnar would just manhandle him, F5 him, that'd be it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting at, motherfuckers. You cannot have legitimacy with shitty wrestlers. The problems that WWE is facing is a clear, like stylistic difference between Vince McMahon and Triple H. Vince McMahon likes the good wrestlers like Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar, and Triple H likes Finn Balor and Adam Cole. So you tell me, motherfuckers, who are the better wrestlers? The answer is the ones that Vince McMahon likes. And people like fucking all these jabrones, like just pushing this kind of narrative, like Billy Gunn was like, oh, Kenny Omega versus Okada was better than Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. No, it wasn't, motherfuckers. No, it wasn't. It wasn't even better than Christian versus Jericho at WrestleMania. It wasn't even close. So that's what I'm saying, motherfuckers. The direction of places like AEW and New Japan is going to shit. But the direction of NXT is going well. Vince is going back to what brought him the most success, and that is big guys fighting other big guys, right? Somewhere down the line, the Sparks added this homoerotic element to it, where they're like, oh, Vince likes muscled up, like oiled up muscle guys, right? No, motherfuckers, stop projecting your own love of like Finn Balor and Adam Cole onto Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is like a masculine dude. He's like a real dude. He's not this kind of like pansy weirdo who watches wrestling for sex. No, motherfuckers, Vince McMahon, that's why he had the women there. Hey, Vince McMahon is a classic pervert. You know what I'm saying? So this idea that somehow in any capacity, like Kevin Owens would sell more than fucking, I don't know, The Rock is ridiculous, right? Consider this, motherfuckers. Consider this. If you were to watch porn, would you rather watch hot girls or fat girls? You tell me. You tell me, motherfuckers. What would you prefer? Watching fat girls or hot girls? Hot girls, right? It's the same thing. You want to watch the prime at what they do. You want to watch the hottest people having sex, and you want to watch the strongest people fighting. It's as simple as that. Nobody cares who would win in a fight between fat guy and like Sami Zayn, the fuck who looks like a guy who works at a hot dog stand. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to know the outcome of that. So that's what I'm getting at. And WWE is making the right moves. They've been pushing for some time now. Like as soon as they started pushing Keith Lee, they've been pushing this big guy agenda, and it's finally paying off, right? Clearly what's going to happen is it's going to be Keith Lee once he becomes champion, if not now, eventually, right? It'll be Keith Lee versus Dijakovic to rekindle that feud. That'll be a good feud. And then eventually, when Keith Lee drops it, it'll be to Karrion Kross. And hopefully Keith Lee just kind of sticks around in NXT until they get more big guys and just continue producing big, strong, good wrestlers. Not these pansy-ass guys that everyone is somehow surprised suck ass. Oh, why is Sami Zayn world champion? Gee, I don't know, stupid. Maybe because he's fucking Sami Zayn. Like a ginger retard who complains on Twitter and has zero testosterone. Maybe that's why. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because no real man can ever identify with Sami Zayn. Or Kevin Owens. That's what I'm getting at. Cats! So with that, I'll beat you guys a deal, motherfuckers. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy 4th of July.